Hello and welcome to Khosi Nation Fan TV. I am Bilo, I am your host. And if you are joining us for the first time, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. And if you're wondering what is this channel about, well, this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs Football Club. Just a disclaimer, this is not a news channel where we provide you with the breaking news. This is just a channel where I start the conversation based on rumors and I give my opinions. Then the conversation continues down on the comment section with you guys letting me know what you think. So please do make sure to leave your comment and like the video so that YouTube can spread it to more people like you, and subscribe. Like 80% of you guys are not subscribed to this channel, so please subscribe and be part of this community. We're at 1,920 something right now, so let's go to 2,000. Let's go. And also for the returning viewers, shout out to you. And while I'm doing a shout out to people, today I am giving a shout out. In every episode I will be giving a shout out to one of the viewers of this channel, and today's shout out goes to Anele Boza. I hope I am pronouncing your name right. Anele Boza or Anele Boza, I don't know. But today's shout out goes to you. Anyway, let's go to the first issue on the daily roundup. Now, the first thing is we will talk about Jessica Mdown and what she said. Let me fix this camera. There we go. Like that. Okay, so Jessica say it is still the signing window, so when everything is done, we will let you know. But if there are certainly new announcements coming, it will be made to the public. Now that's exciting for starters. Ugutu Jessica says when everything is done, they will let us know. And they haven't said everything is done. And this is what some people did not understand Izolo by the video that I released. Some people thought I was saying Chiefs is broke. No. I wasn't saying Chiefs is broke. I said the way things are happening, it's a fair assumption to think they might be broke given how much money they've spent. Not to say Chiefs is broke, just to make sure that we're on the same page there. And it's exciting to hear Jessica to say something like this. Okay, vele they are not done, and you'd expect that given Uguti, we can certainly do better when we can still sort out our squad and strengthen it. So it's exciting to hear Jessica coming out and saying that, because in a way she is also putting herself and the club like ezandleni zethu, as to say, keep us accountable. We have said to you we are not done signing players, because once we are done signing players, then we will let you know. And maybe just to go back to what I was talking about yesterday in terms of, is the club broke and why has the club not signed all the players that we need, specifically a striker. I wrote a response and it was about Uguti. The worry that I have, Uguti, even if you're not gonna sign a player and start them next season, you still need them to be there with preseason, because if a player is not there with preseason and they come in on the last week of the preseason, and then let's just say, God forbid, Dupree gets injured, then that means that replacement has only had 1 week to train with the team, and all of a sudden he's all over the place, and then he just fumbles, he plays a bad game, and all of a sudden us fans turn against him and say, he's a flop. But only this guy has only been able to practice with the team for 1 week, and on top of that, he then gets thrown into the deep end, and after being thrown into the deep end, has a bad game, and it affects him negatively, and as a result, his time at Kaizer Chiefs end up being ruined just because he came late for a preseason. So that's what I was saying. In an ideal situation, and I know in an ideal situation that any team wants, they want every player to be there for preseason. And sakhuluma ngeindaba ze-preseason vele ngeke sihlale singakhulumi ngomkhulise. Yes, umkhulise we-Sundowns. So what is happening vele, if you watch Sundowns, you'll know ukuthi he's not been playing a lot. He doesn't get a lot of game time. In fact, I think according to Transfer Market, they say only played like 33% of available minutes last season. Now that's significantly low. 33% for equality anayo for the kind of player he is. Obviously plays as a winger, but he can also play as an attacking midfielder. And among other teams that are associated with wanting his signature, Chiefs is counted there, and you see why, because of the fact that Uzwane likes youngsters and he likes to see young South African players perform and being given a chance. And he's a product of his development, yes, Sundowns as well, and there would be a great understanding between him and Uzwane as well and the other boys abancane who are coming up with Chiefs, and it could be part of the long-term project. Now I know I've said that indaba yokuthi abadlali be-Sundowns beze kwi-Chiefs and all that stuff, but this is a different issue, because it's not like he's a reject yabo. It's because of the fact that he's coming from a development and ubesakhula, but he's realizing ukuthi he's not breaking into that first team regularly, and if he does come to Chiefs, he would be a good signing. Ukuthi how are we going to get a good agreement, and the fact that as a direct competitor as Sundowns or a rival as Sundowns, it might either be too expensive or it might just be a tricky deal. But Chiefs and the Sundowns don't really have a bad relationship when it comes to transfers, so anything is possible. So let's wait and see what happens, because Cape Town City is also on the race to sign him, but this is a developing story engisibona kwi-Sowetan. And talking about abafana abancane, ngifuna ukukhuluma ngomfana omunye ona 15, uThabo Mphaki. Apparently he caught the eye of Portuguese scouts during there was a tournament as nomika under 16 where he was playing, and kulawo ma scouts lawo there were also Sundowns scouts actually, and what I read is that he would have joined Sundowns actually if it wasn't for indaba yokuthi iskole is gonna be too far from school and he couldn't go and be part of his Sundowns. And I looked at that and I was like, you know what, I actually don't like this thing. At 15 the boy could have already left Chiefs because there was interest from Sundowns. I didn't really like that. Like, maybe the past 8 years have done so much damage. Now Sundowns can even offer players from our development a better opportunity with Sundowns. But I'm just saying this in passing. I don't think it's such a train smash, yabo. Although the second thing, masakhuluma abafana bakwi development, that these two guys abadlala kwi Motsepe, abadlala ABC Motsepe, abadlalela i-Orbit, I think it's Orbit College. So Homolemo, Kuto and Lucky Bule. So ngizofunda what it says. Ucoach wabo. This is what their coach says. Yes, it is true. The boys trained with Kaizer Chiefs reserve team for 3 days last week. They were impressed with them, but unfortunately, they were slow to react, and Orlando Pirates came back to finalize the deal. You will recall that Pirates spotted the two boys first during the Pirates Cup, which was held in Johannesburg. Now, this is a deal that Pirates hijacked from Chiefs. So, Labafana, as I read, they were first spotted by Pirates, Pirates Cup, but then they came back and had trials and for 3 days with Chiefs. And then Chiefs were too slow, and then Pirates hijacked them. And the move. And I'm like, in 5 years' time, there's some scout or decision maker who will sit and say, what would have happened if we had signed that player? I'll make an example of such big players that have been rejected by like big clubs, and then they go or they get signed by someone else. For instance, look at the time when Suarez was supposed to be signed by Arsenal, and then Arsene Wenger apparently offered 40 million plus $1 or plus €1, and then ended up not signing him. Chiefs, Liverpool goes, sign Suarez. Suarez ends up setting the Premier League on fire, and at the time Arsenal could have won the league if they had Suarez, with the amount of goals and impact that he was having on the team. So now Wenger looks back at that one mistake and he thinks, shush, I should have done better. Imagine if Chelsea never let go of Salah, not De Bruyne, and look at what Salah and De Bruyne have been doing in the past 5 years, you know. And you can make an argument and say, hey, Chelsea at the time had Willian and Scalens or De Bruyne, they were better players. But if you're looking at De Bruyne and Salah right now, you're not thinking, they are former Chelsea players. So Legend is of letting good quality players go might come back and bite us in a bad way, because people need to be what's the word, these guys who are making decisions in recruiting these young players, they should really be careful and make decisions as quickly as possible, otherwise we'll end up losing to Pirates. And I don't like that, because I'm a Kaizer Chiefs fan, and the last thing I would rather lose to Arrows than lose to Pirates. I would rather lose to anyone than lose to Pirates. So losing a player to Pirates is like, hey guys, no. And I don't like it. And speaking of losing players to Pirates, in this case, it's not necessarily losing a player to Pirates, but an ex-Kaizer Chiefs player in the shape and form of Daniel Akpeyi is apparently being scouted, or ngathini, Pirates have made an inquiry into signing Daniel Akpeyi. But sources close to Daniel Akpeyi have said that the only problem would be ukuthi Pirates already have offer, and Akpeyi at 35 might not just want to go to Pirates and sit on the bench. So that is actually the question of the day that I have for you guys. What do you think of former players or current players moving to the rival? Either a player moves from Chiefs to Pirates or from Pirates to Chiefs. We know Kono Jimitao, who were captain of Pirates, then came to Chiefs and became a captain and had a very good career too. What do you think of that? And I understand. I will just say this first. I understand that at the end of the day, players need to make a decision that's good for them and their families. Because if you don't have a job and Pirates offers you a job, then you go to Pirates. But I'm talking from a fan's perspective, a biased perspective. What do you think about players leaving a Chiefs and going to Pirates? Basically leaving a rival, leaving another team and going to a rival. What do you think of that? And because this thing is also something that Ukhat also said, he would be open to going to Pirates if Pirates wanted to sign him. And that thing is kind of something that I don't like. Now saying Shomina on a personal level, I don't like it, because then if a player is playing with Soweto Derby knowing what I can still go and play for Pirates, then it loses something in Derby. It loses that thing. We don't like Pirates. Pirates doesn't like us. I'm not saying about Bulalan, but I'm saying a player with Derby, they must always go like, we have to beat them. We have to give everything we have. Okay, it's another football match. It's about 3 points. Derby is more than 3 points. Derby, we have seen coaches performing really well, like Rudy Kroll with Pirates, but because he couldn't beat the Chiefs, apparently was fired because of that. I don't know how true that is, but I heard apparently Kroll was fired because he couldn't beat the Chiefs, which would be ridiculous, but also it would show how much the derby means even to the management of these two teams. So guys, what do you think of that fact? Now, I made a video about Kaizer Chiefs goalkeepers. I'll keep on saying this video up here. So please go check it out, because I am currently running a mini series of the starting 11. So I'll be going through each position and talking about which player do I think will start, and talking about the systems and all of that. So check the video up, it will be linked there. And thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you on the next one, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelo Moy.